For this particular morning meditation, I wanted to share with you about the other side of the fence. I shared it on Periscope this morning. Got a great response. You can follow me on Periscope at Next Level Steve. But I want to talk about the other side of the fence because that's what we keep our eyes focused on so many occasions. The other side of the fence, what the next man has, what the next woman has, what the next man is doing, what the next woman is doing. And I wrote this morning via social media, and I pray that it'll bless your life. I wrote, on the other side of the fence, one of the enemy's greatest tools in his arsenal of devices and wiles is the other side of the fence. His great aim is to distract you from and negate you of your purpose and destiny in God. As long as he can keep your eyes on the other side of the fence, he accomplishes so much of his purpose by doing so. By focusing on the other side of the fence, you will keep your eyes on the popularity of someone else's social media page, the size of someone else's ministry, the seemingly lucrativeness piece of someone's business. You'll compare yourself to other one's clothing, to someone else's looks, someone else's curves, someone's upper, someone's lower, someone's buffness, someone's speech, their intelligence, their children, their total physique, or any of 100 other variables. Folks, if you always keep up with the next man's or woman's spouse, house, car, church, ministry, then when will you have time to focus on your own? If jealousy is as cruel as the grave, then is having this much focus on what another has eerily similar to the work of an embalmer. Stop preparing your own body for a grave prematurely. Enjoy your own. Work on your own self. Love your own self. Be yourself. It's great to be you. By the way, you don't know what's going on the other side of the fence anyway. Things aren't always as they seem. Look, folks, you can keep your eyes on what the next man is doing. You can keep on what they're wearing, what they got. And it'll take you out of your own game. It'll take you off your own mission, your own focus, your own destiny, your own purpose. By the way, you don't know what's going on the other side of the fence. How many women have been led away from their significant other by a group of female friends that say, girl, I wouldn't take that. Girl, if it was me, he couldn't do that to me. When they go home on the other side of the fence and take that and even more. You've ran away from a good spouse because you heard from a group of folks on the other side of the fence to say what they wouldn't take. The amazing thing, after you run away from your spouse, sister, on so many occasions, because what he was doing was so bad, and the folks on the other side of the fence, what they were experiencing was so good, is that many of those who told you to go slide back and they come at your spouse. Look, folks, don't be fooled, because you don't know what they're doing on the other side of the fence. I had a boss in the car business. His name was Cliff Taylor, the late Clifton Taylor. Brilliant brother. Died. I feel like, God had his time, but I just think it's a loss to the world. He's just such a brilliant brother. And I would tell him that even though these folks have a 750 beacon score, we're up there because I'm the fine F&I guy, and he's the sales manager. And we're going back and forth. And I said, Cliff, they don't have room to pay for this car. And then he said something so profound, I never forgot it. He said, Steve, all of our income doesn't make a credit app. He said, if you're seeing she's got all these bills and she's been paying them perfectly all these years with this amount of income, then she's got some income that's not making the credit app. He said, Steve, she could have a sugar daddy that gives her $700 a month. You can't list that on the credit app. Steve, she could have something, she could boost purses on the side and make a little money from that. Or have an illegal daycare in her house. He went through 100 things, and it blew me away because you don't know what's going on the other side of the fence. You're dying and praying to be them when you don't know what they're doing on the other side of the fence. Look, folks, run your own race, live your own life, love your own kids. When they put their kids on social media and they only show you their kids when they're getting 4.7 grade point averages, or they're walking the walk of grace and prim and proper, and they're always smiling, they're always doing well, and you look at your own kids and you go through drama on a daily basis, guess what? They go through drama too. They're just not, they're putting their children's high points out there, and they're never showing that their children may be an alcoholic. They never show that their children may be, despite their 4 point whatever grade point average, that they're addicted to drugs. They could be addicted to pornography. Look, folks, stop trying to be like those folks on the other side of the fence. It's great to be you. Live your own life. Be yourself. Run your own race. One of the greatest disappointments in life is if you run 100-meter race and you do it in 9.5 seconds, and you find out at the end when you cross the finish line first that wasn't even the race you were supposed to be in. Look, folks, you were born original. Don't die a copy. Don't be a cheap copy of a magnificent original. Get your eyes from off of the other side of the fence. It's great to be you. God made you distinct. You are a part of God's private collection. God has exclusively cut and tailor-made you for destiny. It's great to be you. Get your eyes off those folks on the other side of the fence. Because guess what? It rains over there too. God said that he causes it to rain on the just and the unjust. And since it's going to rain on us all anyway, enjoy some rain on your side of the fence. Get your eyes off the other side of the fence and run your own race. God's got great things for you. I was thinking about, how we can put our worth to the response that we get from certain corners. And Bishop Jakes once had done a column for the Washington Post, and he was ready to stop the column because at the end the comments were so harsh and the response was so minimal, and he thought he was failing. And then the editor of the Washington Post told him that, Bishop Jakes, our crowd, our audience is so highbrow and so educated that they won't respond to your posts whether they like it or not. So when we see these negative comments on your columns, we know that it wasn't our crowd. Look, folks, your crowd may be so distinct. God has sent you into a kingdom for such a time as this. Don't assess your worth by comparing what the next man does or the next woman does or what the next man has or what the next woman has. God's got blessings with your name on it. What God has for you, it is for you. Get your eyes off the other side of the fence. Run your race with purpose. Run for your destiny. God created you for the winner's circle, and he didn't want you in the winner's circle peeping to see what's going on the other side of the fence. God bless you. My morning meditation.